cars made in Japan. You got to make them in the U.S. And it'd say, well, I don't do that. I mean, look, we don't have anything to do with that. This is done by the private sector. I said, Shinzo, you're a powerful man. You can do it. I really can't. I said, you have to do it. Next day, they announced 5 companies were opening up factories. So that was the end of that idea. And he's a great guy, Shinzo. And I hope he's going to be well. He was a great leader of Japan. In my second term, I will pass another historic middle-class tax cut. It's already... No, Biden, you know, all my life I've been studying politics. I watched it. I was on the other side. I was a contributor to like everybody. They came to my office. I was a contributor to everybody. And they would come in. But all my life I watched, and I'd watch taxes. And I've never seen this before, where somebody goes, we will raise your taxes. Vote for me. No, it's never happened. I've always watched politicians, we will cut your taxes, we will cut your taxes, we will cut your taxes. Biden gets up, we will raise your taxes. And people say, oh, a lot of people don't get it. They'll go like, oh, did I hear that right? No, it's going to raise your taxes. So Biden wants to eliminate oil. Think of it in Texas. You saw him in the debate the other night. Now, he can't get away with that. I said, so tell me, because he almost made it. And then that last question got him. And Kristen, who is, you know, not particularly in my camp, I thought she did a good job, to be honest. I thought she did a good job. She looks at him, she goes, why would you do that? And then I said, yeah, why would you do that? And unfortunately for his party, he said he will transition out of oil. And I said, are you listening, Texas, right? Are you listening, Pennsylvania? And are all the people in the country, because we have an energy-independent country right now. And once we get New Hampshire and New England, the pipeline cutting across New York, which we're very close to getting, you will have energy prices that will be like low, very low, very low. And nobody else will be able to get that pipeline, that I can tell you, nobody else. That means that no heat in New Hampshire, winters, $5 a gallon gasoline, much more than that, I think. Think of it. What are you now, $2? And you'll go under $2, right? $2, right? Armenia. You know Armenia? We're working on that. You know, we're working. We did it with Kosovo and Serbia. Do you believe? I got 3 nominations for the Nobel Peace Prize. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? The Middle East, we're doing peace. I did it the opposite way of what these fools did for years. We just signed the 3rd Sudan yesterday. We signed. So we have Bahrain, UAE, United Arab Emirates, led by a great gentleman, a great leader, a great warrior, actually, Mohammed. And yesterday we got Sudan. I mean, no blood in the sand, no cost, no this, no that. The opposite way. And then we got one, Serbia. We had Serbia, because this relates to Armenia. We had Serbia, Kosovo. We're doing a trade deal. I said, wait a minute. These people, right? Serbia. These people have been killing themselves. They've been killing each other for years and years and decades. And we're dealing with both of them unrelated. I said, fellas, if you don't get your act together, we're not going to deal with you. What the hell do we have to deal for? We don't have to. You know, we're doing trade deals. I said, wait a minute. They've been fighting each other and killing each other for years. I told my people, tell them they got to work a deal. Otherwise, we're not going to do a deal with either of them. Of course, it's nothing. And you know what? They hugged and they kissed in the Oval Office, and they were so happy. And this is after many years. Nobody thought they could come together. Nobody thought they'd come together. That deal was worse than Israel, if you think about it, and the Palestinians. Israel and the Palestinians, they say, can't. It'll come together. It'll come together. We stopped paying. We used to give the Palestinians $750 million a year. And I said, look, we're not going to pay you. If you're not going to make a deal, why would we pay? And other people said that was a terrible thing. It wasn't a terrible thing, because they'd say death to America, death to Israel, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And now they want to talk. They all want to talk. So we have 3 countries. We have many countries lined up. You'll end up with peace in the Middle East with nothing, but for nothing. And a neighbor of yours, John Kerry, said 2 years ago, It would be impossible to do the deal that way. No, that's the only way you can do the deal. And it's all coming together beautifully. We're going to have peace in the Middle East. What we've done is pretty amazing. But with Serbia, Kosovo, so we signed a deal. So they gave me a Nobel Prize for that. They gave me a Nobel Prize for something else. They should give me a Nobel Prize for what I did in Syria. When I say Nobel Prize nomination, I don't know. I don't know. But with Serbia, so now we have Armenia. Look at the Armenia. They are incredible people. They're fighting like hell, right? They're fighting like hell. And you know what? We're going to get something done because, thank you, and I love you too. You know, the Armenians have had a tough go. But I saw, in fact, I was in yesterday, Ohio, actually. I was in Ohio because I went to various stops, but in Ohio, we had a tremendous group of Armenians with the flag and the whole thing. The spirit. And the problems that they have and the death and the fighting and everything else, we'll get that straightened out. That's going to be, I call that an easy one, okay? We'll get that. Go back and tell your people. Go back and tell your people, all right? We'll get that straightened out. Armenia, why not? It's easy. If you know what you're doing, it's like that. If you know what you're doing, it's easy. But we will. But think of that with Kosovo, Serbia. I said, well, we're doing these two. We're not doing either deal unless they put it together. And they both came back, the prime ministers. They came back. They were in the Oval Office 2 weeks ago, hugging and kissing. It was an incredible thing, very historic. And what are we doing? We're saving a lot of lives. We're saving a lot of good people from being killed. See, normally I wouldn't tell you all this stuff, but we're in the afternoon. Where are we going from here? There's no more NFL that you watch. Where the hell are we going? Biden is also vowed. You think Sleepy Joe would be doing these things? I don't think so. I don't think. He'll go back to bed. Hillary used to spend a lot of time in bed, too. But she had more energy than him. She did. She had more. They said, what's the difference between crooked Hillary Clinton and Biden? I said, well, obviously they're both crooked, but let's get out of that.